Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua Gilliland, attorney blogger on Bowtie Law and with Jessica Meterson on The Legal Geeks. Joining me today is the CEO of Planet Data, Howard Reissner. Howard is a former practicing attorney, successful businessman, and based in New York. Howard, how are you today?
Hi, great. Good afternoon, Josh.
Pleasure to see you. How was Legal Tech New York?
I thought it was a very good show, in spite of the fact that there was sort of a weather impeded. Some people didn't get in there, and I think it probably affected attendance. I thought it was a very interesting show, and I think that the tone of the show took on some new roads this year and new avenues that are consistent, sort of where the industry is going.
And what are those roads as you see them?
Well, I think we're past sort of the block and tackle simplistic. We captured data, we recorded, and we put it up for your review. We're looking to more nuanced presentations of how analytics, how technology, along with human assistance, can make attorneys more efficient, keep up with the enormous growth of data creation, and the fact that it's not just technology in a box, and that the interaction of people and service is critical for success in this business. In addition, I also saw some really more emphasis on security issues. I think that some of the issues that have been in the front press, you take a look at a lot of law firms which have a lot of data and a lot of information, and so there were people that were trying to attract the attention of them, and the fact that security is becoming a very important issue.
Fantastic. Well, since you and I are both attorneys, even though we might not be in the traditional practice anymore, we frequently advise attorneys and we help attorneys with working out eDiscovery issues or data management, name the flavor of the challenge, and which makes me think about ethics and the duty of competency. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that lawyers have to face in being competent in this day and age?
Well, I guess as we all know, the ABA had some amendments to the rules and comments last year on the model rules, and has now put competency as not just a professional practice and enhancement, but in fact has become an ethical requirement. And as such, lawyers can no longer say, well, gee, I didn't understand the technology, it's beyond me, I delegated it, and as such, I'm not responsible anymore. And so it goes hand in hand, not just with professional competence and ethics, but with efficiency and with basically, let's face it, the most important thing for an attorney is to have their clients satisfied with their work and the results.
So for as long as I've been on the eDiscovery side of the table as a thought leader and working at different software companies over the last 8 years, I've thought about education and how do we educate people, whether it's podcasts, whether it's webinars, whether it's a seminar, whether it's blogging or books. And what are your thoughts on ways that we can better reach people to help them be competent?
I think there are a lot of opportunities for lawyers to continue to gather training and education and technology, but you're not going to do that until you first become aware of the fact that you need to. So hopefully that message is getting out there. There have been some more cases now that are out there citing attorney competency, or in some cases lack thereof, in technology, and hopefully that's going to make it clear that you need to enhance your educational skills, whether it's through CLEs, it's going for some training. Sometimes it's talking to your teenager about some of the social media, and gee, there might be discoverable information on Twitter or Facebook, and I better know how that works.
Totally. It reminds me of an issue that happened in the 70s when California was the first state to add ethical requirements to CLE. And the reason that California was first was because all the lawyers involved in Watergate were from California, and we felt bad about that. Do you think, and California today has requirements with CLE for substance abuse, elimination of bias, and general ethics. Do you think we should add eDiscovery, if states should add eDiscovery as one of these requirements that they need to learn about every 2 to 3 years?
Well, as the CEO of an eDiscovery company, of course, my knee-jerk reaction would be, yes, Josh, of course we should add eDiscovery. But I think that would be too narrow a definition. I think that there should be ethical requirements for technology competency.
Hmm.
eDiscovery is only a subset of that. I mean, essentially, every attorney practitioner today, whether they are in compliance, regulatory, um, even somebody who's on the corporate side needs to understand how their clients create information, send it to them, where to find it, and where to search for it. So I just think that I think a broader a net would satisfy the requirements and still send the message out that this is important.
I agree with you because, again, looking at California rules, being a California attorney, I follow those more closely than other states. But we have ones on the virtual practice of law. We have ones on using Wi-Fi and work from home and cloud computing, and other states do as well. So I do think it's broader. Being able to say, do you know how to do effective document review? I do think it's the duty of competency. So you don't treat it like just going through a box of paper and doing it the hard way. So I do think it is broader. I am of the mindset that I do think would be a good thing for states to add. I know others who strongly disagree with that logic, but that's what makes life interesting. So thinking, along those lines, I see a lot of lawyers, and there was the Craig Ball quote out of Legal Tech this past week about Bates numbering and tips. How do we get lawyers to think about native files and using clustering and all the powerful tools that we have, as opposed to they want to label everything with a Bates stamp on a static image? How do we help lawyers see the effective way that technology has for them?
Well, I mean, I think some of it's just pure necessity. I mean, the clients, even if they're not going to take the initiative, the clients are going to start demanding it. We get now cases where the initial data corpuses start in the multiple terabytes. This is not 2007 anymore, where somebody's going to go out and collect multiple terabytes of server information with all sorts of systems, operating system data and software on it, which has no relevance in any form, shape, or manner, and even then don't want to go through massive amounts of irrelevant information and pay for that. And then you were asking questions about form of search and production. This is basically if you don't have the initiative to be a leader in this because you're going to make your clients happy and retain your clients and get new clients, and the clients are going to demand it out of necessity and say, gee, Josh, why did this cost so much? I spoke to my colleague who had a similar case and the costs were a third, and his client was happy and my client didn't give me the next case.
Yeah, great points. So let's talk a little bit about Planet Data. And I mean, Grant, I love the name just because I am a sci-fi geek and that just sounds cool. But could you, for those who are not familiar with your services, how do you help people? And could you tell us a little bit about your company?
Yeah, well, yeah, certainly. We've been in business for about 13 years. We were founded in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind the company, I was one of the co-founders, was to have a service company with a technology underpinning. And so we have been at this a long time. In 2008, we stopped using third-party acquired technology, which we had licensed, and we had all sorts of issues and problems around because we didn't control. And we acquired a company called Cerulean, which had developed their own proprietary software built from the ground up by people who'd spent many, many years in legal data management workflow and knowledge management. So we built our technology from the bottom up, as opposed to very, very smart people who built software and then said, gee, we could use this in legal. And so the name of our technology platform is Exago. And we have taken that Exago platform and we have continued to develop on top of it. No third-party technology at all. It is all our own code. We have filed and have very close to approval on a number of patents. And the manner in which we extract and process, search, review, and produce data is different than the way everybody else does it, and with a higher level of accuracy and efficiency.
That's cool. I'd love to see a demo sometime.
We would be delighted, and we can do something with you on a WebEx. And as I said before, we can have all this amazing technology, and we think we do, but it's only technology. And it's very, very important that there's a meld of people and process and technology together, because all three legs of the stool are critical for success.
Oh, totally. It's knowing the strategy and how to, what to do. Just because you have a hammer doesn't mean you know how to build a house with it. So yeah, I totally agree with you.
And we put an equal emphasis on all three.
Yeah, because
Yeah, so you can walk around and you've seen, companies just coming off legal tech that have one of the legs of the stool, and they're out there screaming about that. But you need all three.
fantastic. Well, Howard, I hope you are comfortable in avoiding the winter storm that's hitting New York.
I'll be out tomorrow. All right. Meet me at San Jose Airport.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like an awesome plan. Love to have you guys out here. So it's we're finally getting rain, and it's beautiful. So my friend, thank you for your time. And for those who want to learn more about Planet Data, what's the URL?
We are www.planetds.com.
Fantastic. Everyone, thank you, and look forward to our next recording. Take care.
Thanks, Josh. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too.